If I could describe my quarantine experience in one word, I would describe it with epic.
With one word, it would be anxiety.
One word, it would be relaxing.
Mine would be summertime.
Tumultuous.
A lot. That's actually 2 words.
Our situation for quarantining is that we live in Brooklyn, so we're in the epicenter of the epicenter. But we decided to stay because we were thinking for a second to go to Germany instead, where my family lives. But yeah, we decided to, roll with it.
Yeah, we stayed here in Brooklyn. We had 2 roommates. We had one guy from France who was in school, and we have one roommate who works. He's from India. He's from Chennai. His name's Sanjeevi. But the French guy left actually during the pandemic. He left in March because the school closed down. And our roommate Sanjeevi, he stayed and he was working for a company, and that recently stopped. So it's just been her and I and basically a grown man that we babysit.
At the beginning of the pandemic, we were at our New York apartment, and we really hadn't been out anywhere since about March 8th or 9th. And we were basically staying in our studio apartment all the time, walking in the park, it's in front of our building, and going to the grocery store. And that was pretty much all we were doing. We did that for about 5 or 6 weeks. And finally, as the pandemic went on and on, we finally decided we needed to go somewhere where we would have a little bit more space instead of being in one room together all the time. And my parents live in Alabama and have a big house with a lot of space.
Welcome to Alabama.
So we decided to finally pull the plug on New York and come down here.
And they have a full basement for us, so we can still quarantine ourselves from the rest of the people and just have that space for ourselves. So that's been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So currently we are in a 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. It's myself, Dominique, just about every other week. Also my daughter, my first daughter, comes to visit for a few days to a week at a time. Also kitten and new puppy.
So during this quarantine, we are here at an apartment in New Jersey. It is a 1-bedroom here with our 2-year-old who has his bed in the same room as us. It is pretty spacious. We do have a nice amount of space. It's newly renovated apartment, but at times it does feel like the walls are closing in on us.
So we're in the Berkshires at our friend's house, but there's 8 of us here. There's 5 adults. It's a converted barn, so it's a huge house. It's a 7-bedroom house. We have a library, media room, a great room. We have a pool. It sits on 6 or 7 acres. We have a mountain in our background. We got very, very lucky.
Yeah, we did.
And we're in a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn, and it's like a high rise, so it's like you're on the 12th floor. So it's kind of like a little scary sometimes when we have to get in the elevator when other people are getting on as well. We have to try to maintain the social distance, and it's when there's always people coming in and out of the elevator, even if it's just going through the building. It's a little scary, and a little nerve-wracking.
I have always been a germaphobe, and I'm always very aware of what I touch. I always have hand sanitizer. We don't wear our shoes past the door when we come in the door. I don't put my bag on anything. So I was doing all this stuff prior to COVID. And now that COVID is here, it's that, amplified. We wear our gloves, we wear our masks when we go out.
What the most annoying thing about being germaphobe like you are is when you take the subway with Ashley, because she doesn't hold on to the pole, or she doesn't hold on to the surface.
I hold on to it.
So you hold on to me, and then when the train is like jerking me forward, then we all fall together.
Right. I try not to touch anything in New York if possible.
Got some friends who are conspiracy theorists about the whole thing, and I've I've had to just kind of step back from talking to them because they're removed from the situation. You know, they may not even be in New York. They're like, well, you know, 5 June. Listen, man. Okay.
I think we had more difficult conversations with friends that still want to hang out, but then we see them going on Tinder dates and stuff, and we're just like, my friend. Like, I'm not, no, you know?
I've got a friend that lives across the street. I can see out the window that he's living his best life, and there are people who are willing to put their lives on the line with a complete stranger. And I wonder about those people.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in their thought process in the situation.
But then they call, they're like, hey, can we come over?
Hey, you want to come over and listen to music? It's like, no.
Nope.
I don't. Just because you don't care about your life doesn't mean I don't care about mine, you know? So.
We only shower
when I'm on camera
once a week. And I didn't even shower for this. I think I showered last Saturday.
I barely turned the water on for this. Joking.
We're the house. The thing is, we have a great bedroom. We have our own bathroom, but the shower was probably made like the 60s. So the people were a lot shorter. So the shower head comes about to my eye level. So taking a shower is not a lot of fun.
I showered yesterday. 2 days ago.
Oh, fancy you.
I know.
Brag about it.
Yeah. You clean bitch.
But I'm actually using a lot more moisturizer.
Yes.
Because, and I actually wash my face every morning now, which I never did because I'm always so busy this day. I just get up, throw some water on and get going. Now I actually have time to do stuff like that.
Everything's anti-aging.
So do I look, I mean, you guys can be the judge. Do I look younger?
First of all, when it comes to grooming, I wax and I do laser. I feel like a werewolf, okay? And I refuse to shave.
My makeup habits pretty much went out the window. I'm wearing it now, but this is kind of a rare occasion during quarantine. And actually, it's been kind of nice. I realized how much time it takes to put on all this stuff every day. And I've gotten kind of used to seeing myself without it. So I think, you know, after this is over, I will probably kind of continue to be a little bit lighter with it. So it's kind of been nice in that way.
Yeah, and your skin's been looking great.
Oh, thanks. We definitely both needed haircuts.
Yep.
My mom dyed and cut my hair on the porch a few days ago because I was like, I can't do this anymore. Please do something about it. She hasn't cut hers yet, but I think she will before this is all said and done with. So
yeah, I did find one hair that was split 15 ways here. So I think
it might be time.
It might be time soon.
Yeah, I actually had to have a talk with my roommate about showering. I walked past him while I was playing video games, and I took a breath in, and I just smelled death. And I was like, yo, man, have you showered? He was like, no, I haven't. I haven't showered for a couple of days. And I was like, well, go do it.
We definitely shower every day. I think it's just essential and important to still feel like we're human beings, you know? Yeah. And I mean, I do your hair, but I did that anyway.
I mean, I did her hair last night. I braided it. So it came out nicely. I don't have anything to shave my beard, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
It's not an issue, it's just like, you know, it's getting long.
Yeah. But yeah, I usually go get a manicure. I'm not doing that, but I'm also not someone who's patient enough to do it.
She's washing her legs now.
I am washing my legs.
Definitely progress.
After how many people saw that I had not washed my legs and hated on me?
300,000.
I was like, okay, I got it. I gotta get on it. But I also,
so clean.
I also have to say that I asked a bunch of people at the office. I made like a case study, and it was really a cultural thing. Like, yeah, it was crazy. It was really funny actually. But now I'm washing my legs with a loafer. Is it called loafer?
A loafer. Loafer bread.
No, what's it called?
It's a loofah.
A loafer.
Fun fact, I used to be a dog groomer. And so I know my way around clippers. And so I've always wanted to get into barbering. And so it's something that I've been looking into and exploring on us, which is why we're not out here looking like Wolfman Jones.
This guy cut my hair for the first time.
And I cut his hair.
I let him do that. It was bad. But
I didn't let him cut my hair yet, as you can tell.
No.
I always buy these like really expensive razors, like the groomers in the city. And I literally went to a CVS and bought
One of the local pharmacies.
The cheapest one for $20, which I thought I was just going to use for meat for my beard or whatever. Yeah. And it's the best trimmer I've ever had in my life.
I think you could take it in the shower. You could go for a jog and take the trimmer. The trimmer.
It took like I just shaved his whole head. It took like 5 minutes, and he was so grateful. We had sex after.
You can hold the razor. You get that deep.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Caesar, Black Ink CEO. And if you don't know me, the reason why is you ain't subscribed to VH1 YouTube channel. At the end of the day, you already know that's the #1 channel on YouTube. And if you don't got it, I guess you just watching #2.